Hey all, Assalamu alaikum. I want you to do me a favor just for a sec. Imagine this with me. Picture a typical American town, one of those places where, back in the day, all you'd hear morning and night were the church bells ringing. Now, fast forward to today, and instead of just bells, the call to prayer, yeah, the azan, is echoing through the streets. And no, I'm not exaggerating or getting all poetic here. This is real, like a quiet but deep shift happening right under everyone's noses. So, today we're diving into a pretty hidden side of America, the secret Muslim city of Buffalo. Now, Buffalo isn't the first place that pops into your head when you think Muslim America, right? People usually think New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, big flashy spots. But Buffalo, it's got this under the radar Muslim community that's quietly thriving, growing, and leaving its mark. You see, these folks are making their presence known in ways that are both visible and subtle. Mosques popping up, halal markets on corners, local restaurants serving up some legit Middle Eastern dishes, and neighborhoods where you hear Arabic, Urdu, even Bosnian, alongside good old American English. It's like this cool cultural mashup happening right in a city that's been around for centuries. And here's the thing, it didn't just happen overnight. This is the result of decades of migration, community building, and a ton of resilience. Families moving in, creating businesses, schools, and community centers, all while keeping their faith and traditions alive. And trust me, it's not just about religion, it's about family, community, and a sense of belonging in a place that wasn't always the easiest to settle in. Hey guys, can you even imagine this? There are places in America today where the call to prayer is ringing out from buildings that used to echo only church bells. Yes, for real. Today, I want to take you on a little tour of a city where time has changed the color of the buildings, where the faces of neighborhoods have shifted, and where places of worship haven't disappeared. Instead, they've been brought back to life by people rediscovering faith. I want to share a story with you that, on the surface, might seem like it's just about buildings changing. But if you dig a little deeper, it's really about faith, people, time, and survival. It's a quiet, profound story unfolding in Buffalo, New York. Yes, Buffalo, the city where winters are long, cold, and sometimes brutal, where the days can feel gray and icy for weeks. But here's the thing, the city's real identity isn't the weather, it's the quiet transformation happening inside its houses of worship. There was a time when Buffalo was known as the city of churches. German, Polish, and Irish families built stunning houses of worship with stone walls, towering arches, and colorful stained glass windows. Voices echoed through those halls for generations. These weren't just buildings, they were the heartbeat of entire neighborhoods. But then time shifted. Industries slowed down. Factories closed. People moved away in search of work. Neighborhoods began to empty, and those churches that once held thousands slowly fell silent, one by one. And in that silence, a new sound began to rise. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. For some, it was surprising. For others, it raised questions. And for many, it brought hope. The truth is, this sound wasn't entirely new to Buffalo. It was simply becoming louder, clearer, and stronger. A lot of people think Islam in America is something recent, as if Muslim communities only began appearing in the last few decades. But Buffalo's story goes back much further. In the 1930s, Buffalo was an industrial powerhouse. Steel mills, rail yards, factories, and grain warehouses ran through the city like veins, pumping life into it. During that time, young Muslim workers from Yemen, Lebanon, and Syria began arriving. They didn't have much money, resources, or support. What they had was hard work, patience, and deep faith. Many of these young men were alone. Their families were thousands of miles away. They carried memories in their hearts and tools in their hands. There were no mosques, no Islamic centers, no organized community. Prayer happened wherever they could manage it, sometimes in a tiny apartment, sometimes in a rented factory basement, sometimes in the corner of a community hall. Those small, quiet gatherings became the very foundation of Islam in Buffalo. Back then, spreading the faith wasn't even the goal. It was about preserving identity, staying connected, and remaining resilient. Then came the 1960s and 1970s. Immigration policies in America changed, and a new wave of people began to arrive. This time, they were students and professionals, doctors, engineers, and scientists. Buffalo's universities and hospitals attracted young people from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Africa, and the Middle East. Many thought they would stay for a few years, earn a degree, and return home. But life had other plans. Some found jobs, some got married, some started families. And just like that, Muslims in Buffalo were no longer just visitors. They became a permanent part of the city with roots and a story of their own. Once families begin to grow and children enter the picture, everything changes. It's no longer just about personal faith. Questions arise. Who will teach the children? Where will Friday prayer be held? How will Eid be celebrated? That's when the community shifted from gathering individually to organizing collectively. In 1971, the Islamic Society of the Niagara Frontier was founded. Before that, Friday prayers were held wherever space was available, sometimes in someone's living room, sometimes in rented halls. Now, Muslims had a permanent center for prayer, Quran classes, and community life. Islam in Buffalo was no longer just about survival. It became about responsibility and passing faith to the next generation. Then came one of the most emotional and symbolic chapters of this story: churches being transformed into mosques. One powerful example is St. Agnes Church, built in 1886 by a German Catholic community. It featured classic Gothic architecture, towering arches, stained glass windows, and massive stone pillars. It wasn't just beautiful, it was historic. Over time, the Christian congregation shrank, and the church eventually closed. Across America, many old churches are demolished or left to decay. But in Buffalo, something different happened. Muslims stepped forward and said, "We won't tear this down. We will bring it back to life." It wasn't an easy decision. There were debates across the city. Some were happy that the historic building would be preserved. Others were saddened that it would no longer function as a church. Some were even upset, but the reality was clear. Without a new purpose, the building might have been lost forever. The transformation didn't erase its beauty. The windows, ceilings, and pillars were preserved. The main change was symbolic. Latin inscriptions were replaced with verses from the Quran. Instead of kneeling at an altar, worshippers now prostrate before Allah. Worship didn't end, it simply took a new form. It wasn't destruction, it was preservation. Today, Buffalo's Muslim community is not defined by one generation, language, or culture. It's a world within a world. Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Arabs, Yemenis, Somalians, African Americans, and people who embraced Islam later in life all stand shoulder to shoulder in prayer. They wear different clothes, speak different languages, and carry different stories. But they share one prayer, one Qibla, and one God. The community is not only about mosques. Initiatives like halal food pantries serve anyone in need, regardless of faith or background. People can receive a free meal or take groceries home to their families. Of course, challenges have existed. The years after 9/11 were not easy. There were fears, doubts, and difficult conversations. But Buffalo has shown a unique spirit. During harsh snowstorms, churches and mosques opened their doors as shelters. During the COVID pandemic, people of all faiths supported one another. Westside Buffalo reflects this diversity beautifully. On a single street, you might find an Arab grocery store, a Pakistani restaurant, a Bangladeshi market, and a Somali coffee shop. Friday is not just about prayer, it's about community, connection, and spiritual renewal. Sermons may be delivered in English, Arabic, or Urdu, reflecting the many backgrounds within the community. One of the biggest concerns for parents is the next generation. They want their children to grow up as confident members of American society while staying connected to their faith. That's why mosques here function as more than prayer spaces. They are schools, community centers, and safe havens. Children learn the Quran, Arabic, the life of the Prophet, and ethical values so they can grow up proud of who they are and where they come from. Another beautiful aspect of this story is that many local residents have embraced Islam over time. Some are drawn by the discipline, some by the spirituality, others by the sense of community. When they choose Islam, they are welcomed as family. So here's the takeaway. Buffalo's story teaches us something profound. Buildings can change, people can change, even an entire city can change. But the spirit of faith remains alive. When a house of worship shifts from one tradition to another, it doesn't necessarily mean something has ended. Sometimes it means something has been preserved, protected, and given new life. And maybe, just maybe, that is the most powerful message of Buffalo's story. So, in the end, I just want to leave you with this. Buffalo's story teaches us that history isn't just something you read in books, it breathes all around us. Houses of worship aren't kept alive by bricks and stones, they are alive because of intentions, faith, and the actions of people. When the call to prayer rings out in a building that used to be a church, it's not anyone losing. It's proof that the journey of worship doesn't stop. It just keeps moving forward. Buffalo reminds us that even with differences, we can be heirs to each other's stories, and often the quiet, unseen changes are the ones that run the deepest. And hey, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me which city you are watching from. I would love to hear. With that, I will leave you here. May Allah give us all the ability to understand, accept, and become better human beings. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.